Hey, dude, just so you know, like this idea came to me through just praying. That's just that simple. Like I did not.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. Like I didn't. I told my brother I was like helping people. That's it.
We're about to give the waitress a $2,000 tip.
I'll just do the original Grand Slam. I don't run a food vlog. I run a nonprofit, Real Change Project.
Okay.
We put cash donations in the working people's hands. That's $2,000 for you.
Serious? Oh my God. Thank you so much. I don't even know. Thank you. Oh my. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I feel like such a dork. Oh my God. I don't know.
I'm not gonna, let's not think about it. I'm not gonna sit here and think about it, but something's gonna happen. And over the course of a couple months between this happening, that happening, it was like, bingo, I got the idea.
Reaching one hand into the gutter, the other hand into the glory, and bringing them together in Jesus' name. This is Not So Random. Now, here is your host, Gary Gates.
One of the most overlooked when it comes to generosity is the forgotten, hardworking individuals. Even with a full-time job and the cost of living increasing to the point where this overlooked group has to make tough choices between bills and groceries. We're in crisis mode, some of us, and we have found a nonprofit organization that has a similar mission to even us here at Not So Random, and that is Real Change, the Real Change Project. Today we have Josh Shulman with us to discuss a fairly new organization. Josh, what has inspired you to start the Real Change Project?
You know what really inspired it is just sitting around for years talking about issues that are plaguing, the American working people. And you don't really know the outlet to take to help. You're like, you want to help, but it's like, how do you do that? And, at some point you just get sick of listening to people tell you, oh, vote for this guy, vote for that guy. That'll help this, that'll help. And meanwhile, you're just looking around, seeing everybody drowning. 2/3 of the country can't afford a $1,000 emergency expense. And it just got to a point where it's like, let's do something instead of nothing. Let's help some people. And I love those videos on YouTube, right, where they give money away. And I thought, man, what if you did that in the form of like a nonprofit where you're giving money out to working people and then you're also showing it so the people that are donating get to see the result, that you're like measurably helping a human being, right? So we kind of got together, talked to some lawyers and this and that, and it ended up getting approved by the IRS, and that's how it started, man. So it was just out of like, let's do something rather than doing nothing, and let's help some of these people. Let's get some cash into people's hands, because that's a lot of what people need, just a little extra cash.
So do you know firsthand what it's like to be on the other side of the giving that you're doing?
Yeah, I do. I can tell you this. I've been in situations where, not a lot of money in the bank, and any sort of emergency could, put you in a debt. And fortunately for me, I have good family and I have a lot of support structure around me that, if something were to happen, I would probably have that safety net, but a lot of people don't. And that's what's really cool about what we're doing. It's that we want to be that kind of safety net where if we hear somebody in need, just like the people that we've helped, we've heard that we're there, we can help you.
Yeah. So what made you aware of that? I mean, some people, they live in kind of that, they live with the safety net and they almost forget about the ones that don't. I mean, what made you think of that there are people out there really suffering other than just having your eyes open,
Yeah. I mean, it's become more and more common now where like, you'll just see a nurse or somebody on TikTok or whatever, like go viral for talking about the struggles, and young kids that are, I'm in the Midwest and it's, cheaper here to live, but you go to the coast, I don't even know how people make it. I mean, really, I don't even know. And you just see so many people that are struggling, and it's just all around you. If you just, like you said, if you just open your eyes, this isn't even this is a college degree thing too. Yeah, you see nurses and really people with good jobs, firefighters that are really finding it hard. So it's just so prevalent. And you hear so many stories and people that can't buy houses and they can't just do the things they wish they could, or it's all around you if you just open your eyes.
Yeah. And I know during the pandemic, that word essential worker was used and tossed around a whole lot. And I tell you, it seems like those are the ones that you're really going after.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I mean, you're talking about the people. You've seen some of the videos we've done. We've given, a Denny's waitress and a cashier at a gas station, a bartender, and these are all the people that kind of make the country run. Like, if they don't show up to
Yeah.
work, like, what do you have? Okay, like, they want to make it seem like the most important thing is like some guy on Wall Street that moves money around for a living, but like actually the people that are grinding every day and building your automobiles at the GM plant that's not far from here, like those are the people that make this country run. So we kind of want to reward just the hardworking people that are giving so much time. And I'm sure you know as well as me, you get 40 hours a week. It's not just 40 hours and 9 to 5. You're getting up at 7. You got to commute. You got to do this. Get the kids ready if you have to. By the time you get home, you don't even have time to cook, and before you know it, you're going to sleep and waking back up. So, like, there's something to be said about rewarding these people that are working so hard and they still can't keep their head above water.
Yeah. So what would be the difference between Real Change Project and some of those other viral social media giants that perform major acts of kindness on the internet and do their kindness? And hats off to them. What's the difference between those people, which we can name drop all day long, and what y'all are trying to get going?
Yeah, well, I would say I don't think any of them are in the form of like a nonprofit where it's charitable donations that go to the people. And also there's kind of a rhyme and reason to ours. Like we're giving to working people, and we're showing exactly where your money's going. Because a lot of times if you ask people like, what's the one thing about charity, giving to charity that's kind of, I wouldn't say that you don't like, but when you find most people's answer, it's, I don't know where my money's going. And is it going to do good? And it's like, we want to answer that question with like, yes, it's going to do good. We update our totals online to show you. And then we want to show you the people, because like, what's better than like giving somebody that kind of money and just helping them like so much?
Yeah, I definitely say that, helping the struggling working class with other organizations that give, they can get taken advantage of. I mean, we have a deal called Angel Trees that at Christmas time where you can put your child's name on an angel tree and they can get a gift, for Christmas. And I've worked with different churches that are in with these organizations that do things like Angel Tree, food banks, clothing giveaways, backpack giveaways. And it seems like what they all speak about and they all have in common are, and they'll probably agree with the following statement, they have to push through a whole lot of greed to get to the need. And it's sad because there are some that they'll just sign their family up for everything. And then there's always that one or two that don't get to be in line for it because, there are some that are out there being greedy. So I assume that there's a pretty good vetting program to figure out who's a good candidate and who's not.
Yeah, you know what, for I'd say for all of them, they were pretty well vetted. But I got to tell you, the Denny's one was not. That was totally random. And people, you could say, oh, well, how do you know? Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you're working the grave shift at a Denny's, you could probably use a little extra money. And that's like not, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. I'm just saying like, that's somebody that is clean and is taking care of you and being absolutely amazing. And there's no doubt, that they need that. And that's what was really fun about that one. That was random.
Yeah. I see where you kind of go in like you're some food critic or you're trying to find the best donut like you did at that grocery store. And I mean, you kind of want to go in kind of nonchalant like that. And it helps you to be a little calmer with what is coming. And then you get to pick that best time and then they come out and give you the biggest hug that, they probably never give nobody in their whole life,
It's awesome.
That's just, what I've noticed is that, like you said, sometimes in my terminology, you don't really have to be some prophet or son of a prophet to see a person in need. Yeah. And I think that's what's great about what you all do. And like I was telling you before we even went on, I can be in a crowded grocery store and God just point out a stock boy or a particular person. And I know that's the one I'm supposed to bless because they're probably being overlooked. And then you'll see a homeless person on the side of the road with a great big sign clearly written on it, help, you know. And it's like my radar just don't go up. And I think most people is going to stop and help once in a while that person. And it's kind of the obvious, but it's great to know that someone's taking care of the forgotten ones.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it, man. I think you're exactly right. The forgotten ones. I mean, the people doing it, man. The people trying to help themselves that are just not quite getting above that bar sometimes, and
Yeah.
really cool to help them.
There's a woman here named Robin. She works in the bakery. We're gonna go surprise her with a $2,000 donation. Hi, how you doing? Are you Robin?
I am.
Hi, I'm Greg. Should we try one? Should we do a taste test? Which one's your favorite?
I like the sun. Yeah, those are good too.
Please.
Are you sure?
Please, yeah, take that. Yeah, please. If you want to open it.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm actually not a donut expert. We're with the Real Change Project. We're a nonprofit. We put cash into working people's hands. That's $2,000 for you.
It's so wonderful. Thank you.
We're about to give the waitress a $2,000 tip.
I'll just do the original Grand Slam.
These are actually on sale for $5.99.
So these are only $5.99 today?
It's the slow time, so it's kind of like a promotional thing to get people.
I know. We'll give you a big tip then.
I like that.
Actually, I don't run a food blog. I run a nonprofit, Real Change Project.
Okay.
We put cash donations into working people's hands. That's $2,000 for you.
Serious? Oh my God. Thank you so much. I don't even know. Thank you. Oh my. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I feel like such a dork. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I gotta go.
One thing I do have to ask, how do you and your team feel when that camera stops rolling and you're in the car together, or you might stop somewhere and talk after? What is that moment like? Because we don't see that moment. What is that
that's
moment like?
interesting. Yes, that's a great question. And also just like, so you got after the whole thing's over, but even just after the cameras are off and you're there with the person you gave it to, I mean, you just get the story of how much it helped. You'd love to get that on camera, but sometimes you can't, because when somebody knows they're being filmed, it's a little different. But just the reactions of them afterwards. And then honestly, you're just hoping you got some good footage to work with. And you were just kind of talking about, let's edit this part. And, it goes right into my brother edits. So we go right into that, but it's really fun. And, we know we did another one and we helped somebody. And like, it's kind of like when people say like, oh, I wish I won the lottery so then I could go and just give random whatever, like a lot of money. And you're just like, well, we're doing it. It's like, we're freaking doing it. And it's so cool. And there's really no words for it. I just love what we're doing. And I want to just keep doing it.
Did you ever see the film Schindler's List, or at least know a little bit about it? It's about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
There was one scene at the end that when I talk to people about these types of things, it just comes back to my mind. And it's at the end of the movie where Schindler's standing there and all these people he helped, the Jewish people, are all standing around him. And he gets so choked up, and they're just wanting to show their gratitude to him. And I think they present him with a ring and some things. And he looks at it, and then he looks at his car, and he thinks about the wildlife he had prior to all this. And he's thinking, if I wasn't such a wasteful person, I could have got more. I could have helped one more person. And I think it's great to know that there are people out there that, you're trying to live this out. And I love the great transparency, you do have on your website, because you're sort of like a GoFundMe page in a sense, where you're showing a total and where you're at. So you have great transparency, and your mission's simple. There's no red tape involved. It's just, if we have the funds, we bless the person and then wash and repeat, And I do want to encourage any of our listeners to visit his website, him and his team, realchangeproject.com. You have a running total of the donations coming in to put toward the next blessing. I think that's really awesome. So how does it work from donation on the website to staking out your next victim, your next blesser, blessing person?
Yeah, so that's a good question, but I want to say that yeah, everybody, if you join, visit the website and obviously subscribe on YouTube. That's such a big thing, and for us, it's really
Definitely.
like yeah, we're not trying to we're not saying to subscribe so we can become YouTube stars, because that's not what we're about. We're saying subscribe because we want to become a monetized channel where that money goes right back to the people. We are not trying to do it to enrich ourselves. And also, I just want to say, man, about the Schindler's List, it's so wild you brought that up, because I watched that movie not long ago, and at the end I was like, oh my God, I just like so get that scene. It's like all this is BS, these cars and my gold pin. It's like, think about how many people I could have helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you just get it, and it's about helping people. That's what it's all about. It's not about accumulating more stuff and consuming all day. So yes,
what's your average donation? What's your average donation? I mean,
you know what? I would say a lot of people give like $50 to $100. And that's kind of what we expected. And a lot of people that we know, that's what they gave, and it really does add up. It adds up quickly. Before you know it, you get 40 people that each gave 50. Oh, bam! There's one person that's going to get a $2,000 donation.
And that's one thing I was wanting to emphasize, and I assumed as much, and whether you have 10, 50 or 100 or $2,000, it all adds up together, and it's just going to compile with what your neighbor gives, and the next thing you know, someone else is getting blessed, and you get to see that tangible thing flip back into play. It's not just you gave it and you don't know. I mean, you all are doing a great job of letting people see the fruit of their the fruit of the labor, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
What words of wisdom would you give an everyday person? They might not have $2,000 to give, but maybe we need to remind them to open their eyes and say, hey, helping some old lady at a grocery store with her shopping cart might be something that just turned her life around that day. There's a lot of things we can do that don't cost money. And that's what I've learned is that, I've blessed people financially through the years, but the ones I walk away with more tears are the ones where you just acknowledge somebody. You just acknowledge them.
That's it, man. And it's exactly what it is. And obviously you give that kind of money, you're really acknowledging somebody. But I've watched videos where they will give a waitress a $500 tip, $1,000 tip, and the waitress will say, you know what, it's so important to me that you just treated me like a human being. Because there's, I don't know, man, it's weird out there now. It's like a lot of people thinking they're better than other people, and you're my waitress, so let me just treat you horrible, whatever it might be. But everybody can. My message would just be, this is like an ultimate act of kindness, and it's amazing because you're helping people financially, and you don't know what that can lead to. But just being nice to people, just like understanding we're all equal. You're not better than anybody. Let's start there. Who's helping these people? Like, what is like the remedy? Like, so it's like, I would love for everybody to start doing stuff like this. And it's a total, you totally get it. And, speaking of GoFundMe, like, that's why I think people do like to donate to GoFundMes, because they kind of get to see that, like, oh, hey, I just put in $50. It just went up $50. And I know it's going to this person to measurably help his life. So that was kind of the idea.
Yeah. We've had, cancer patients, house fire victims, tornado victims that are doing it that way, or someone dies and that's going toward the funeral and all that. And I mean, people are really seeing it working.
Thank you so much.
We hope it helps.
It more than helps. It's been so slow, and things have just been really tough. But everybody's getting their cut hours. This is my boyfriend of 21 years. Come on over, James.
That's how God works. So, pay stuff forward, so it always come back full circle.
My name is Sherry, and I just want to let you guys know to donate to the Real Change Project. It really does change lives. It really helps people that are hardworking and trying to do something for themselves.
Thanks for being with us today on Not So Random. Audio podcasts of Not So Random are available through iTunes, Spotify, Audible, Google, and much more. Video versions are available through YouTube, Rumble TV, Facebook, and more. Visit our website for more details. This program was made possible by Fire Encounter Studios and people like you.